Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Thank you so much for being a part of the program and tuning in. And I'm so glad to be back with you on this Wednesday, March the 5th. It took me 3 tries to get that correct. It's March. It's not February. There was a change on the calendar, and that's about as far as it goes. Until that is, you look at tonight's forecast, which is looking up. Now, there's still a big looming question, a big cloud hanging over everyone's head in regards to the question that we all have: is winter going to make a return? Well, yeah, I think it's a pretty safe bet, to the severity of which I'll not go that far, only concentrating on our forecast for the viewing area tonight, which does have us sitting rather pretty for the entire forecast period after another brutal hit winter-wise that I wasn't here to enjoy, and that is sarcasm, just to make sure in case of those of you who weren't watching the screen. I did manage to get out of the office for a few days and also at the same time take and then bring home a very nasty cold that I'm still a bit trying to get over, so bear with me this evening. But we do have a great deal to talk about tonight. Get your pens ready if you want to keep up with your school calendar for McGoffin County and for the regional tournament, which, as you are probably very well aware of, didn't start on schedule this week. Now, action is underway tonight, and I'll be talking to you about that, who's playing who and when, and getting you up to date on all that information and a host of other news, and not getting to everything that we had this evening because simply more than we had time. So without further ado, our first story this evening is that from the state level, and it appears as though there is a fight brewing on the state level in regards to who's going to fight an ongoing topic across the state and nation. Kentucky is going to, in one way or another, fight a federal judge's ruling, says Governor Beshear, that's ordering the Commonwealth to recognize gay marriage, but the state's going to have to do it without Attorney General Jack Conway, who has today refused, he says, to defend discrimination. Conway said this morning, as Attorney General of Kentucky, he must draw the line when it comes to discrimination. Now, just moments after he issued his formal statement, the governor of Kentucky, Steve Beshear, released his statement saying that the state would have to go on and fight the case regardless of his input or not, and if they had to, they would hire outside counsel to repeal U.S. District Judge John Haburn's ruling that Kentucky must, by law, recognize same-sex marriages performed outside the state where they were done so legally. The governor says the question of whether states can prohibit same-sex marriages is being challenged in many courts in this state and others, and Haburn's order did not address the larger question of a whole, and that's whether or not Kentucky's constitutional provision prohibiting the performance of same-sex marriages violates the United States Constitution. The governor said that he'll seek a stay, meanwhile, of Judge Haburn's order pending an appeal, because without a stay in place, he says it presents the opportunity for what he referred to as legal chaos in Kentucky, as many Kentucky courts will have very different and often conflicting verdicts and decisions on the matter. Well, with another round of snow, man, it was another rough one. A lot of cancellations still lingering, a lot of schedule changes still on the calendar. I've got a couple for you that I'll try to get back and repeat on tonight's community calendar, but I just got them in and want to make sure we don't let them get forgotten, as I sometimes do when things aren't in front of me. But I did get a call. I actually got a couple of calls from Diana Howard and Barbara LeMaster with the Bread of Life outreach post over at the old Oil Springs Elementary School. They are having their next food distribution on a snow schedule, and it's set for this Thursday, which is tomorrow. They'll start at 10 in the morning. They'll run until 3. And that's once again at the Bread of Life outreach post there at the old Oil Springs Elementary School tomorrow, 10 till 3, running on a delayed basis due to, of course, the weather. Also, a reminder from the same ladies that at the Pillarstone Chapel, they'll be having church services this Sunday at 6, and Timothy Tackett will be doing the preaching, and this is officially your invitation. And I also have another one concerning your garbage collection, which, like everything else outdoors, is pretty much a day or two off from the Rumpke Company. Monday's route was to be picked up on today. I think Katie may have passed this along to you yesterday. Tuesday's route, if your garbage collection was to be on Tuesday, it will be collected tomorrow. Part of today's route is going to be picked up on tomorrow, and what drivers can't get to tomorrow will be picked up on Friday. Thursday's route will be Friday if not completed, and if not completed, it will be picked up on Saturday. Once again, Thursday's route will be Friday, and if they can't get to it all, they'll finish it on Saturday. Friday's garbage collection will be picked up Saturday as well. I may do that again. I think I confused myself. I may repeat that in the calendar to make sure that we get that correct for you. A whole lot of things happening here around the area in just the past 24 hours or so since I've been back. There was a serious auto accident last night. I'm still waiting some details, and I may not have that for you. But I do have some details on another accident today, and also a McGoffin County family who completely lost their home and belongings after a structure fire in the middle of the afternoon while no one was home. We do have some video coming in and some information regarding that. I'll get to those reports in just a few seconds. And I've got the setting doesn't look as though, but I've got a good way to at least get us in the habit of thinking that spring is around the corner with an interview with our president of the local McGoffin County Youth Baseball and Softball organization. But for now, get your pencils out, and I stress get your pencils out because more than likely you're going to have to make some more changes. But with today's cancellation of classes in McGoffin County, as they were in most other school districts, and tomorrow's cancellation, we now have a new date for the last day of school for students across the McGoffin County school system. Another auto accident in Sagersville last night. It involved at least one vehicle and at least one utility pole, from what I understand. Officer Mike Nichols with the Sagersville Police Department worked the accident, and I hope to have some details before I leave you, if not tomorrow. For now, here's what's happening on tonight's community calendar.
Now, I've got a birthday wish here that I just realized I don't have it typed in, and it just came across the desk, and I'm trying to make sure I get it right. Kenneth Coburn. A birthday. This was called in yesterday while I was out, so it's a bit belated, Kenneth, and with my apologies, but with a lot of love from your sister, Becky, happy birthday to you, and a happy belated birthday to you from us. Happy birthday to Kenneth Coburn tonight. Now, the rest of our McGoffin County Farm Bureau-sponsored community calendar includes a reminder about the Elk Creek Church's Soup Bean Dinner set for this Friday, 9 to 5. Now, you can eat in, you can pick it up, they'll deliver. Regardless, you can get it by calling 349-8637 or 205-4914 or by dropping by the Elk Creek Church. That's once again this Friday, 9 to 5. And a Friends of Coal rally has been set. This is free, and it's featuring our friend Jimmy Rose from America's Got Talent, and it's going to be at the Pikeville High School Auditorium. And, of course, I think he needs no introduction anywhere in Kentucky or elsewhere for his Coal Keeps the Lights On. It's Saturday morning, 10 o'clock at Pikeville High School in the auditorium. And once again, this is a free rally for everybody. And a community blood drive has been set for next Tuesday here in McGoffin County at the Hardin Medical Plaza, noon to 5 p.m. That's next Tuesday the 11th for our next McGoffin County community blood drive. And if you have a calendar announcement that you would like on the program, this indeed is the best way to get them here. Let everyone know what you've got planned. Looks as though it's it for calendar announcements this evening. No funeral service announcements. So with that, we'll pause for a few words from a few more of our sponsors, and then a lot of sports to wrap it up.
Hi, I'm Rodney Minnick, born and raised in McGoffin County. I wish to see my family and theirs one day grow old in a place I so love. But to live here and be safe, we need to put honor, experience, and confidence in the Sheriff's Department. A graduate of the Department of Criminal Justice Academy, I have 7 years of dedicated service to McGoffin and Johnson counties, and with your support, I would like to take that leadership straight to those responsible for selling drugs and stealing from our home. Please vote Rodney Minnick, Republican candidate for Sheriff of McGoffin County. Thank you.
Noticed how many insurance commercials and advertisements are on television nowadays? You can't watch your favorite program without seeing a little pig or green lizard trying to sell you insurance and get your money for their premiums. But let me ask you this. If you have been in a serious wreck, do you really think that you are in good hands of the insurance companies when you have lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering from your head to your toes? The answer is no. If you want to truly be in good hands, give me a call. I'm attorney Donald Wayne McFarland. Let me put my 20 years of experience in working to protect the rights of injured people to work for you. 349-9000.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400.
Well, we've got some ground to cover in sports tonight. It was hard to keep a mindset today, standing on the field of the Ramey Park as I was interviewing Matthew Wyman, the president of the McGoffin County Youth and Baseball Organization, talking about baseball, standing in the snow while doing so. We did so as baseball season is here. In fact, middle and high school play starts next week, playing around the weather and field conditions where they can. And they're hoping to get in practice, says Matthew, for the youth baseball and softball teams as soon as the 24th.
Sure, it was a bright, sunny day to be on the ball field, but there was no way anyone was going to be playing ball anytime real soon on this field. Nevertheless, Wyman says they had one of their biggest sign-ups for the first day of sign-ups last week with more than 70 kids. And that, yeah, standing in the snow was a little bit strange, but he knows that the season will be here before we all know it.
Well, we've definitely got a white baseball field today. We'd much rather see it green. Hopefully over the next couple of weeks, Mother Nature will be kind to us and help us get the fields ready so we can get our spring season started. We hope to be able to start practicing sometime around the week of the 24th of March. All right, we're going to be out at Dairy Queen this Saturday, March the 8th. We'll be there from noon until 2 o'clock. We are, the age groups again are T-ballers, 4 and 5-year-olds, and we have our rookie league, which is our 8 and unders, and we have boys baseball, that's 12 and unders. We'd really like to have a lot of 9 and 10-year-olds and 11 and 12-year-olds show up so that we could split the league up. In years past, we've been able to do that one time, but as fate would have it, we've only had enough kids to field about 4 or 5 teams from 9 through 12. The competition's a whole lot better if we can get a 10 and under league and a 12 and under league. The age restrictions are T-ball, you can't be, you have to be 4 years old by May the 1st. There's just no way around that, and I hate that, but that's just the rules with Cal Ripken. And you can't be 13 before May the 1st to play in the baseball league. As far as our softball goes, the girls softball, you can't be 13 after January 1st. It's a different age. We had a whole lot of girls sign up this past Saturday. We're looking to have a really big league, maybe even have as many as 5 teams in girls softball. As far as our players or the kids that sign up, we had a really big year a couple years ago. We average around 250 kids. I think that year we had 275. But generally we have about 250 kids sign up all the way in all divisions total.
And have you started looking towards support monetarily, coaches, that things yet, or is that still a little far away?
No, we'll be starting this week. The board members and I will be going around to the businesses and soliciting sponsorship as we have in the past years. This community really supports our baseball league. Last year we had, I think we had 20 teams total, and we ended up with 21 sponsors. And one of them was happy with just not even being on a shirt. They just was happy to be able to donate. As far as coaches go, we generally have a pretty good pool of men and women that want to help our children. Cal Ripken Babe Ruth this year has implemented something a little better. I think it's going to cause a little more work, but it's well worth it. We now have to do a 50-state crime check on all coaches, and that's the first time that Babe Ruth Cal Ripken has required that.
So once again, next round of sign-ups this Saturday, noon till 2 at your Sagersville Dairy Queen. I'll be right back with more sports after this. Check out our daily specials that get even better after 4 o'clock only at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe, where Thursday is Dipper Day. That's right, get our boneless wing dipper meal with your choice of 2 homemade sides and a biscuit for just $4.99 or only $4.29 after 4 p.m. only at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe.
I'd hope to have all of this typed in and on brackets and have a visual for you for some aid instead of you having to just listen to me. Just couldn't get it all together as I got into the office late today and trying to get caught up and get everything back together. So real quickly, just let me run through your 15th region schedule. Put 2 days off by severe weather conditions that affected the entire region as far as all the teams are concerned, one way or the other. It did get underway tonight, and of course they've got to get games in because the state tournament doesn't wait for hardly anything. So, girls action tonight. 2 games for tonight. 6:30 tip-off for the ladies from Johnson Central who are taking on Betsy Lane. Johnson Central 19-11 after a stunning win over the Lady Hornets of Magoffin County in the 57th District Tournament that I didn't get to see. Had to hear about it over the phone and through some text messages while I was out. But they pulled off a big win, 19-11 on the season. I'm not for certain if they're the first seed in the tournament. They are still third ranked as far as the regional standings are concerned. However you want to look at it, they're taking on Betsy Lane, who is 10-19 in their first round tomorrow night. Tip-off set for 6:30. Now, there's a second of 2 games tomorrow night is another girls' matchup between 13-16 Belfry and 19-12 Pikeville. Thursday night, it's more girls action, and tip-off for 6:30 will be the number 2 regional standings, mind you, Shelby Valley team at 21-6, taking on Pike County Central 8-20. Now, once again, that is Thursday, 6:30, and the second and last game for Thursday night at 8:15 is Allen Central 13-9, taking on the Magoffin County Lady Hornets, who at 22-5, still, even with their district championship loss, sit atop regional standings at number 1, but 22-5. Now the girls' semifinal action is Friday night, so you've got girls' action tonight. Tomorrow night, semis Friday. The final game will be Saturday at 8 for the girls. And defending champion Shelby Valley, once again, who will be playing tomorrow night as the number 2 seed at 6 o'clock. They beat Magoffin County in the semis last year and then Shelton Clark in the finals last year. We'll see how it turns out for all those teams. As far as boys' action is concerned, and I can feel my voice starting to wane, the boys' action doesn't get in until Saturday, but when it does, it gets in full form. All first-round games for the boys are Saturday. First game tip-off set for 1:30. 15-10 Pike County Central taking on 14-17 Prestonsburg. Then at 3 o'clock Saturday, Johnson Central, also district champion, 22-6, taking on Eastridge, 16-10. Betsy Lane, 26-5, taking on Lawrence County, number 3. 20-10 for Lawrence County. And then Saturday at 6, Shelby Valley, who is 18-10, taking on Belfry, who's 8-18. The boys from Johnson County trying to make a run at 3 regional championships in a row if they can pull this one off. And they will, of course, as I said, take on Eastridge, game 2, Saturday at 3 o'clock. A lot of high school basketball. You're going to have to travel to the expo to see it if you like, or check us out for highlights thereafter. I'm going to try to make it, with the exception of tonight, to as many games this week as possible. With that said, when it's short in print, it's usually sweet in nature, and so is tonight's forecast.
Now, when I say tonight's forecast is going to be sweet, I'm not referring to tonight as in the literal sense of the next several hours. It's not so great. It's the weak point of the whole show with a low of 21 degrees tonight under partly cloudy skies. And that will, of course, go a long way to refreeze a lot of wet spots out there. Thus, Kansas classes being canceled tomorrow in Magoffin County and I'm sure a lot of other area schools. A low of 21 under partly cloudy skies, though, is going to be followed by a big improvement, a vast improvement on your Thursday. We'll bust 50 degrees tomorrow, just barely, but mostly sunny skies above 50 degrees, and that's going to go a long way to finishing off a great big meltdown out there. And we'll see a much more favorable low tomorrow night of 31. Classes Friday? It's possible. We'll just have to wait and see, but it's possible. Partly cloudy skies late Thursday, a prelude of more sunshine to come Friday, and even better temperatures. We'll get up to around 55. We'll be above freezing for the nighttime low on your Friday. Mostly sunny, dry, partly cloudy late. Just going to be a really nice end to your work week. Well deserved. It's going to be a nice dry out for a few days. Until, well, it's not all that bad. We've got a 30% chance of some showers, mainly between 11 p.m. Saturday night and 4 a.m. So Saturday looks to be gorgeous. It's going to be the third of 3 really nice days. They're getting better each and every day as they go on. 57, partly sunny on your Saturday. Those showers aren't going to be a real factor until, well, most everyone's in bed later on Saturday night and early Sunday morning. Now, a few showers may linger into your Sunday. That's going to be a little cold air that's going to come through and give us still partly sunny skies along with it, but lower daytime highs will go from 57 Saturday to right around 49 in your Sunday. Still no complaints, especially when you take into the fact that we'll recover Monday with sunshine and 58, partly sunny and 60, I'm so glad to tell you, on your Tuesday, and more sunshine in upper 50s, maybe 60 degrees on your Wednesday as well. Where do we go from there? Well, let's just not talk about that. We do have some nice weather in store, and we're all so very much due. Wait till we see snowfall totals for this winter season, which is winding down calendar-wise. For now, I'm winding down with this. Thank you so much, as always, for being a part of the program. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for more of Your News Today. Good night.